I used to play this game a lot. Basically, every time I heard about another minority fighting for their rights, I downplay it by comparing it with my oppression as a woman. I remember during the Black Lives Matter movement saying something along the lines of, why isn't there this kind of support for the domestic abuse women face? At the time, I didn't realize that I was discounting another minority's experiences because I felt like the oppression I faced as a woman was being threatened. A simpler way of saying that is that I was scared. I was scared that by putting a certain minority's experiences in the spotlight, the experiences of the oppressed identity I belong to would go unnoticed. And that doesn't justify what I said by any means, but the reason I'm sharing it now is because I think a lot of people feel this way. When we see an identity and their oppression being shared in the media, we say, well, hey, as long as you're sticking up for someone, why not stick up for me? I'm suffering too. Which I get, because you are suffering. Without a doubt, you are being oppressed, and you deserve justice the same way the people getting represented deserve justice. However, your experience is not the same as theirs, and confusing this can be extremely invalidating for people who do have that experience. For example, a girl in my women and gender studies class brought up a TikTok where a black woman was asking for the experiences of other black women, and a queer woman shared her experience, justifying it by saying, well, I'm queer, so I'm oppressed the same way a black woman is. While it's true that queer people are oppressed, they're not oppressed in the same way black people are oppressed. If you're interested in me explaining further on this, I'll make another video explaining the history of queerness and blackness. Which means that in equating your oppression to theirs, you're invalidating or dismissing their experience. I'm not saying that everyone experiences oppression the same way. They don't. Like I said, every aspect of your social identity functions to make your experience unique to you. However, there are overlaps in experience based on social identity that, when voiced, can empower people to demand justice on behalf of that social identity. That's part of the reason why the Black Lives Matter movement has been so important. It's raised awareness of the social injustices committed specifically against Black people. But if we don't continue to encourage the awareness of those experiences or equate them to the oppression of other social identities, we are actively continuing to oppress Black people. If you actually want justice for your social identity, you shouldn't be trying to talk over the experiences of Black people. You should be encouraging the experiences of more Black people. If you're a feminist who wants justice for women, promote the experiences of Black women. If you're an LGBTQ+ advocate, promote the experiences of queer Black people. Honestly, we should really be promoting the people with as many social identities as possible, because the more we do that, the closer we get to justice for all social identities, not just one. And that really should be the goal, because one social identity cannot be free until every social identity is free. If you're interested in learning more about women and gender studies, stick around for more mini lessons on my social media page, or visit my other content to hear important readings I've discussed in my women and gender study classes. Also, keep in mind that Palestine is still facing a genocide at the hands of the US. If you're interested in helping, visit my Instagram bio to sign petitions, send scripts to Congress, or find other ways to help Palestine.